What's up, peoples? It is your boy MM2K back again with another one. Y'all should be able to hear me, I think. Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. We good. All right. Now I just got to validate if I'm even live. Y'all know how this goes. So if I am live, I deeply apologize. It's just the wonders of Google not being able to properly operate its own platform. All right, let's go back here. Just show that I'm, okay, don't show that I'm live anywhere. Let me go to my channel. Go there. See what it do. Oh man. Okay. All right. Fatal Charade, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Oh, hold on. There had to be some hiccups, so I got that. But big up, but what's going on, man? Yeah, live. We're gonna talk about these Gears 5, man. These Gears 5 numbers, some different things, you know. And this is supposed to be a quick dose live, so I promise y'all, this is going to be quick in comparison to my other videos. I want to throw that disclosure in there. But what's up, everybody? I appreciate anybody watching this live or watching this on demand. I want to say, just to give you guys some updates on some of the content I've been trying to do. I have been trying to stream Ghost Recon Breakpoint for the last 2 weeks on PC, and it has not worked. Like something went awry somewhere, and now I can't do it. I don't know if it's the video card, but when I stream other games, I don't get a problem. It's just something in that game. I've tried different versions of OBS. So with that being said, I'm gonna try to get that resolved by, oops, I hit the wrong button. I'm gonna try to get that resolved by Monday. If I can't get it resolved by Monday, then my streams are gonna have to solely be through Xbox for Ghost Recon Wildlands. I don't know what it is that causes pixelation. On top of that, I wanted to make an announcement that I made before about some of the content that I'm doing. You guys know that I do the medicine, which is like my daily thing. If I don't feel like putting together some well-produced video, not saying that, you know, the medicine's far from well-produced. I film it all in one take and go about my business. But even when I don't even feel like doing that, when I just want to get on the horn and do what I'm doing right now, I do quick dose. I like the name, but it's not quick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to try to change it for this one. With that being said, when I do the medicine, you know, I do that daily. That's gonna continue. Quick doses are more of an ad hoc thing. Y'all know I do the prognosis. That's my weekly show that I do here on YouTube. It's exclusive to YouTube. Prognosis is either going to be monthly, starting November 1st, or it's going to be bi-weekly. We're going to cut that back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To try to give it more impact and not dilute it, right? So that's all my content on YouTube. As far as Twitch is concerned, I do my daily game streams in the morning, right? That's going to continue, and we're going to mix it up a little bit. But on top of that, I am looking to do, I'm bringing back the NRO podcast. Now that's going to be weekly. And with the NRO podcast, I'm going to try to get some people on there. We're going to specifically talk, you know, hardcore gaming. You know what I mean? Then me and Z, we're trying to put our heads together and bring y'all something exclusively to Twitch, because there's a following on Twitch, and we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all just as dedicated, if not more dedicated. So, you know, we going to show our appreciation to y'all there. Definitely follow me and Z on Twitch. He's NextGen720 there. You can just simply go to Mighty Most 2000 or go to HNDC.Live. That's connected to my Twitch account too, HNDC.Live, and you can follow me there. You know what I'm saying? We got giveaways coming, a whole bunch of stuff. Then I'm going to be doing some stuff on Mixer. I'm going to be doing some looter shooter games on Mixer, so stay tuned for that. All that's going to be hitting November 1st, along with me working with the guys and gals of PNTS. We're redoing the Discord. So we're going to start inviting people to the Discord, right? And then we're going to, along with inviting people to the Discord, we're going to have some thorough shit on there, man. There's no other way to explain it. But with that said, let me just tweet this out to a couple of gaming groups out there. This one. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do my peoples here. We're gonna do my peoples in Bang Bang. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the peoples in the Xbox gaming community. We're gonna do my peoples in Pop Off. I think that's good. One more. Yeah. Gamers, and we'll do Gamers Life. Okay. I will simply say, okay, we got you. We got you. We got you. We are live talking Gears 5 NPD results. The hell? All right, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop that silly stuff. Okay, so in one last thing, so I'm trying to do all this stuff in preparation for not only November 1st, but for next week, right? Because we're just going with the flow, like next week. You know what I'm saying? What works. What doesn't is going to get scrapped. Okay, so it ain't gonna be no more of me trying 50. Big ups to homie Rage, not on Twitch. Like I said, dedicated follower, man. He been helping me out throughout every step of the way. You know what I'm saying? As I'm trying to get my streams together. But what doesn't work is getting tossed. I ain't got time to play with this silly stuff anymore. That being said, I'm gonna use today and over the weekend, where time permits, to start getting this stuff ready for next week, sticking to a schedule. And once I do that, I'm going to be doing the streams on a regular basis. So I'm going to do this, and then I might be down for the rest of the day, because not only am I trying to work that out after this, but we had somebody in the family that went sick all of a sudden, and I got a bunch of people from out of town staying here. Like, I had to tell them to keep their asses downstairs while I'm doing my shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're entertaining folks from out of town. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a busy weekend for your boy. And we're gonna get things proper and straight up and set up per next week. All right, enough of the goddamn babble. Right? Let's get into it. Gears 5. Just got something I want to show y'all in a little bit. Not yet. But shout out to the chat. We got Fatal, we got Knife Storm. What's up? We got Heath Stevens. What's up, Heath? R&B the third. You know what I mean? Big ups to everybody that is here right now. I appreciate y'all. Let me know if the music is too loud and all that other stuff. We gonna get into it. All right. But here's what's going on, people. As we all know, people have questioned if Xbox, under this new regime, if they have what it takes to recapture mindshare, right? And that mindshare was, of course, lost at the beginning of the 8th generation. Now, as they've transitioned to trying to be more commercial and lighthearted about the type of output that they put out there, you know what I'm saying? This new regime with the Sea of Thieves, and the State of Decay 2s, and all that shit, all that goofy, trivial shit. That narrative has been questioned even more. What's going on with these guys? Are they any good at recapturing mindshare like generations past? Are they good at that anymore? So their answer to all these questions was Game Pass, right? Game Pass was introduced as this new product that would change all the doubters. It was such a phenomenal deal, which I feel it's great to have. It's a great model, you know what I'm saying? And it would get people back into the ecosystem and change the mindshare for them, right? Now, we also had the X that was advertised by Microsoft to try to do that initiative, but then they did a poor job of promoting that, and they did not make that its flagship console. You know what I'm saying? Like, if MM2K was at Microsoft, at Xbox, I would have said, you know what? Yeah, I do expect that more S's are going to be sold, but if I truly want to combat the power narrative, I'm going fully behind the X, And if somebody says, you know what, that's a cool system, but it might be a little too rich for my blood, then I'll be like, look, then we got the S. The S still gets you into the 4K arena with the 4K upscale. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would promote power the best way that I can. I would turn lemons into lemonade. And it just bewilders me, these execs making all this money. I'm trying not to insult people, but I've only been doing this for 20 years. You got Phil, he been there since ever, man. He laid down the first brick with Bill Gates. These mugs got 30 plus years doing this. And I couldn't come to mind that your flagship console should have been the X. And you piggyback the S off the X. But because their failure to do that, their failure to get full-throated behind the X, and their failure to launch with software that really helped propel the X, that was abysmal, and that fizzled. You know what I'm saying? I love my X, don't get me wrong, as far as consoles are concerned, but it ain't do what it should have done. The whole strategy fell flat when it came to the hardware. That's the hardware. Now let's get back to Game Pass. Now you have Game Pass that was supposed to recapture the mind share. And you know what I'm saying? Though Game Pass has shown some positive milestones compared to some of them other services, man, we gotta keep it jiggy, man. We gotta be 100 about this. Straight up. Game Pass ain't it, Chief, right now. It hasn't moved the needle regarding mindshare. With this business model that I feel like it's a great value for me, the average consumer doesn't feel that way. So they're not hopping out the window to say, yo, I need Game Pass in my life. I'm buying an Xbox to get Game Pass when that was the only entryway in there. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have all that. So, and this is all I'm speaking prior to Gears 5, okay? Now, Gears 5 was to change all that. It was to change all that, and 2 litmuses to prove that Gears 5 in culmination with Game Pass would finally move the needle. 2 reasonable litmuses that we have is more a la carte sales. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was of the software itself or of the hardware, or more sustained subs with Game Pass. Gears 5 was supposed to change that. Now, we have our very first litmus to show whether that has happened or not, right? Now, before I get into what this litmus is and what it actually says, you know, per the information that we have, let me get in my chat. We got Ninth Star. Homie Ninth Star said, promoting power is fine. Do not promote power in a way that alienates potential consumers. Hearing games look and play best on the X is not a good slogan to run with. I'd have to disagree with that. Because you made a choice. Decisions have consequences, Ninth. You made a choice. It's apparent that Microsoft had a choice to take the money that they were using to continue with the X that Donnie D started to really like make that thing super beefy and powerful, or to go with it as is, not really be the most powerful console in the world, really not go for that, just put out a beefier system, right? And invest more into games. You decided not to invest into those games at that moment, but to go with the console. So you're trying to reintroduce yourself in the product placement area. It's an industry term. You gotta have product placement. Now, what is product placement? Product placement is the lane that your product or services is operating out of. What is this? What is the identity? So if you're then pulling resources from the game's identity that you were normally going off of, you had the least powerful console, but you had the game's narrative in your hand because you were putting out more games. If you're switching that up and you're focusing on the power by your investment, then your product placement, the identity, has to be equivalent, or people are not going to know what you are. And that's what happened. People didn't know what was going on with Xbox. You got this X coming out there, but you had this S. But then you don't got the games coming out there. But the most powerful your messaging was all over the place. You have to find a product placement and you have to stick with it. Go to any successful analyst, promotion firm, they'll tell you the same. What was your identity? Again, what was your product placement? And you had none. Sony at the beginning of the generation successfully ran with the power narrative. 1080p 60 makes you a better gamer. Microsoft said, well, we want to kill the power narrative and we want to take it for ourselves. We got the most powerful console in the world. Okay, cool, great. Now show us what makes it so powerful. And they didn't show us. They launched with Super Lucky Tales. No! You can't sit there and say, okay, all the bad stuff people were saying about us is gone, but we're still going to promote the weakest console out of all of them, which was still the S. No, you come out front with the X, you say, hey, here's our new identity, power. But if this is a little bit too much for your taste, we can still give you something great with what? The S. How is the S great? Still comes with a Blu-ray player and it still has 4K upscale. Power, you're still focusing on power. And visuals, per se, or rather. So, no, I totally disagree. You know what I'm saying? If power was not the way to go, then why are you taking R&D and resources from the games? Like, you got to do one or the other. When you're in a hole, you got to do it one step at a time to get out of that hole. You can't just panic and start swinging your arms everywhere because you're not getting out of the hole. That's how marketing works. All right. With that said, we got homie Walter. What's up, everybody? We got my homie No Russian. What's up? Paul G. Yo, Paul G. Philip Moore. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Tip Diamond was good. FC Valley. Yeah, what's up? F's the homie FC. All right. Okay, let's continue into this. All right. So we got the first litmus here, y'all. What is that litmus? The litmus is, what were the a la carte sales for Xbox? Not Xbox. What were the a la carte sales for Gears 5? Now, I get it. My Xbox brethren, they sitting out here, they're like, MM2K, Gears was only $1 through Game Pass. Sales don't matter. And I beg to differ. We gotta look at this from 5. I know I say stuff ad nauseum, but it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick. The truth is the truth. I can't say something completely different if it's not true. So you're gonna hear me say the same things over and over again until the more and more they come to fruition. And some of y'all hard-headed. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of kids. I get it. You know, when you look at everything from 5,000 feet, Microsoft didn't just say, we don't care about sales anymore, we care about subs. You got to get deeper than that. Microsoft, or not deeper, let's use the 5,000 feet scenario. You got to look at it at a grander scale than that. Microsoft said, we have a better way that we can make money. That's at the top of the pyramid. Think of a pyramid. We have a better way that we can make money for us as a company and for you as an investor. All right. So that's at the top of the pyramid. That's the pyramid tip. You go under to the next layer of the pyramid. They said, our way of making more money for us and our investors is we're going to abandon primarily focusing on the a la carte model, and we're now going to switch to the subscription model. That's where we think we're better at, or we can be better at. Then you go to the next layer of the pyramid under that. The way for us to do that is to to introduce this thing called Game Pass. And the way to make Game Pass lucrative is we're going to abandon a la carte sales to get us to the top of that pyramid, and we're going to get more subscribers. And what we're hoping is, as we put our games in day and date, we will, at a low price point, and a low and affordable price point, we will be able to saturate more of the gaming community than we would have with a la carte sales. So yes, subs is a very, very important litmus. Subs is a very important litmus than sales are. With that being said, the most important litmus is money. Okay. And right now, we do know that Microsoft is losing money in this deal, hence why they changed the litmus of what they're reporting to investors. They're just going on a plus minus basis. And that's understandable because Disney is doing the same business model when it comes to their Disney Plus service. It makes perfect sense. With that being said, don't ever forget that the ultimate goal is money. So when you break down the pyramid in layers like just how I illustrated, if they're not retaining subs, but they're foregoing potential sales by using this business model and they're not retaining subs, then they're not what? Let's go back to the top of the pyramid. They're not making money. So we gotta observe sales. We gotta look at everything. We gotta look at everything that potentially makes money. In this business model, retained subs is more important than sales, but it doesn't mean that sales are not important at all. Perfect. And I'm explaining to you how. All right. Now, again, we don't have sustained subs right now. We got sales. Now, though NPD results for Gears 5, in your boy's opinion, are not horrible, they are underwhelming. I'll say that again. Though not horrible, they are underwhelming. I'm explaining why. It did make top 10. Gears 5 is number 7 in sales, but it failed to reach the top 5. It landed in 7th place under Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That, let me just check my calendar and make sure I say this right, because I know y'all eat me alive. Pause if I'm wrong about this. Yeah, Ghost Recon Breakpoint was only available in September for one day, only to people that bought the Ultimate Edition. Gears 5 was not able to sell more copies than Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that was only out for one day, and was only out for one day to people who got the Ultimate Edition. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Now, Steam sales weren't included, but we know that if we did include the Steam's digital sales, that wouldn't have moved the needle. How you say? I'm going to show you how right now. Let's see here. How can I do this? Oh, y'all can see that. All right. So this is what tracks current Steam activity for all games. And as you can see right now, at the time of this recording, there were only 919 people playing Gears right now concurrently. Within the last 24 hours, that only rose to 957. The all-time peak about a month ago around the release was 10,000, a little bit above 10,000. And they estimate that now in October, 2 weeks within October, now that the sales are 100,000 to 200,000 in totality. But during September, where an NPD would have counted it, it was only at 50,000 to 100,000. So that wouldn't have moved the needle much at all. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, again, it sold less than Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was only out for a day. And it was only available to certain people that got the Ultimate Edition, that paid $100. You know what I'm saying? So even though I get it, it's $100, that's more money, but still, we have Steam that this was available on. We also have Xbox that this was available on. And it's not like Gears didn't have an Ultimate Edition as well. So Gears that had the Ultimate and Standard Editions, that was out for a large portion of the month, sold less than Ghost Recon that was only out for one day. Just to a select group of consumers. And this is the month that Gears 5 launched. So again, I'm not saying that the sales were horrible, but they were underwhelming, being that it had all that saturation. It was still available on PC, still available via sales. You know what I'm saying? A good litmus would have been top 5. And I said that in my previous video. I think I even said it'll be top 3, top 5. That'll be pretty good. 7, again, not horrible, but not good either. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to the chat. We got homie Graphic God. What's up, Graphic God? Mr. Righteous Fist says, yikes. Victor Allison said, what is the point you trying to make? I'm getting to it, brother. Cold Blood Sensei said, Coalition better have a new IP for Scarlet or it's over. And Mr. Righteous Fish said, hit that like button. People, MMTK needs new dick. Hey, Mr. Righteous Fish, the hell with you, bro. He Steve says, you in the junk box community deserve better. Oh, man. Paul G said, David Jaffe loves streaming services, but he said he doesn't know how it will work. Yeah. Hey, look, man, big ups to homie David Jaffe. I love him. I'm glad he graced us with his presence on the Best Damn Podcast. Check that out on Next Gen 720's channel. We air that every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shameless plug or my own shit, right? But David Jaffe, I think he was more excited looking at it through the window of the candy store, looking at the candy through the candy store than he was actually tasting the candy. There's a lot of stuff that David Jaffe said he was ignorant to as far as Microsoft's direction. And then after he came on our show and plotted Game Pass, after I guess he did a little bit more due diligence and some research and found out what was going on, he did his infamous he said some more things about not necessarily Game Pass but Xbox that a lot of people were upset about. But whatever. But with that being said, again, we would have liked to see Gears 5 do top 3 or top 5 placing. I wasn't expecting top 1 because again, Game Pass was a factor. But again, y'all gotta remember, my Xbox brethren, it's not just subs alone. That is the end goal. The end goal is always what? Money. Money. And what Microsoft said again at the top of that pyramid is, we have a better way for us as an establishment, as an institution, to make more money. That way is via this subscription service, which is Game Pass. We are going to forego the a la carte sales model for the subscription model. Now, But that's and it looks like that, yes, the a la carte sales model, even though they have that alternative way and that more gamer friendly way of accessing their game, even with that said, they still underperformed on the sales side. They still underperform. We got to be real about it. But with that said, is all hope lost? No. We still don't have the game sales litmus, which we're not going to get for December. Now, why do I say December or maybe even January? Because we need to know how many more people signed on the Game Pass because of Gears and how many of those people stayed past their free trials. Like, Microsoft doesn't have anything that's fresh and that's new to the masses coming to Game Pass for a while after this. Except for, Outer Worlds. But that game is released in a month and it's still releasing within the trial period that a lot of people got access to in order to get access to Gears. But in December and January or anything like that, there's nothing fresh and new that Xbox got coming to Game Pass. So we need to know, around that time, we need to know how many people past their free trial period got Game Pass, or is still on Game Pass, that got on for Gears. But there is one more litmus that we do have, potentially, that can let us know. All right. And now, what is that litmus? That litmus is console sales. Now, remember how everybody was battling your boy MM2K? You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. Console sales don't equate to nothing in this equation. Look, let me explain something to you. If I am somebody, look, I'm going to break it to you like this. The majority of people that with Gears 5 are going to enter that series and that game are going to be on console. We can all agree that Gears 5 is a bigger game on console than it is on PC. You know what I'm saying? And these numbers right here show that, right? The 10,000 people, only 10,000 people bought the game. We know a lot more people bought it on Xbox, right? Only around 10,000 people bought the game. Not 10,000, excuse me. Only 50,000 to 100,000 people bought the game on PC. We know more people bought the game on console than that. We know. Gears 5 is a bigger game on console than it is on PC. So, if you have somebody that did not have an Xbox console prior to Gears 5's coming out, and they heard, oh shit, there's this Gears 5 coming out and there's Game Pass. Everybody knows what Game Pass is now. Everybody knows what Gears 5 is. Gears 5 and Game Pass is advertised everywhere. It's on buildings in New York. It's on ESPN. You watch Hulu. I watch the Wu-Tang series. Wu-Tang series is a popular series on Hulu, and it's being sponsored by Gears 5. Every time they go to a commercial break, it's a Gears 5. Gears 5 and Game Pass is now a household name. So everybody knows what it is. So if people said, hey, I want to get into that, and they actually went out and bought an Xbox for it, then that means they're making a long-term investment. They are not planning to just get Gears 5 for $1, beat the campaign, try out the multiplayer, and quit the subscription service after the free trial runs out. They're making a long-term investment. They're more likely than not going to stick with Gears 5. So we need console sales ranges or numbers. And more importantly, we need to know that the Xbox One family of consoles sell better than the PlayStation 4 family of consoles. We already know that Nintendo is killing it this year. they're the far winner as far as hardware sales are concerned, that this has been a bad year all the way around for PlayStation 4 and Xbox in general, even in comparison to last year though, right? So we know that already. So we know they're not going to be number one. But a silver lining to all this is if we know that people made long-term investments into the Xbox ecosystem because of this household name, everything that's showing on cookies, cakes, and pies now, which is Gears 5. You know what I'm saying? And Xbox Game Pass. And we definitely need to know console sales for the Xbox One family after Matt Piscatella said this. Matt Piscatella said that hardware was down 8% year over year. And he said Nintendo is up, but what's offsetting Nintendo sales was the particular drop in PlayStation 4 sales in comparison to last year. So what he was basically saying there is that PlayStation 4 sold a whole lot last year, but this year it's not doing good in the month of September. It didn't do well at all in the month of September. So if he's basically saying that PlayStation 4 had a big drop off the cliff in comparison to last September and this one, and they still outperformed Xbox with all of this news about Gears 5 and Game Pass, then man, oh man. I mean, we got to keep it real here. Everybody is assuming, well, that doesn't mean anything because people got to go. People can go and get Game Pass on their PC. We know the average setting of the PC for people that have Steam. Everybody don't have the type of PC that can play these type of games that are in Game Pass. Perfect. Right? We're talking about a AAA high fidelity game in Gears. You can't use no subpar PC to play that game. So PC is a farce in this equation. The bulk of entry points or new entry points into Gears is going to be via console this year. That's where the bulk of the new entrants will be into the Xbox ecosystem. It's not going to be PC this month or next month. It's going to be via the console. And a lot of these people would have tried to get on the game via console. They would have bought more consoles. So what we need to know is with PlayStation 4 having its horrible month in comparison to last September, did Xbox at least do better than them? If the answer is yes, that doesn't necessarily mean that Gears 5 did excellent. It just means, okay, we're still not in the horrible realm yet. But if the answer is no, oh my. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But to say, if it didn't outperform the PlayStation 4 in this horrible month, as Matt Piscatella pointed out, damn. Like they got to go back to the drawing board. They got to do something. Something has to happen. And again, this is all speculative. I'm not saying this is a given. I'm just saying, I want y'all to join with me because we need to ask. This is bigger and beyond some console war bullshit. The war is over. Now we're doing analysis. Now we're just looking at everything that happened and reevaluating everything now, right? This is the commentary phase. The console war is over. Right? And as gamers, as purely as gamers, I want to know how well this service is doing. I mean, you put a whole bunch of money into this thing. You put so much, I mean, this is a household name now when it comes to gaming. It's Game Pass. There's no no doubt about it. We can no longer say that nobody knows about Game Pass. So with its offering or its perception, how lucrative or how much of a value is it to the average gamer? Now again, I'm not expecting that 12 million consoles is going to be sold. But again, Matt Piscatella told us that the PlayStation 4 had a horrible September as far as hardware is concerned. So in Xbox's biggest month in several years, did they at least sell more Xbox Ones than PlayStation 4s? We need to know. So I'm asking fellow gamers, even my Xbox brethren, again, man, let's forget the arguing. Let's ask NPD, let's ask Matt Piscatella, hey, who was number 2 in hardware sales? And I definitely need y'all help because Matt Piscatella got me blocked for some reason. I don't know why I hope he got me blocked. But I got my MM2K gaming account. I'm going to ask him through that. I'm going to lead the charge. I'm going to ask homie Matt Piscatella, hey, would you be so kind to oblige us? Who is number 2 in hardware sales? We need to know. Because here's what happens. When a Fortune 500 company is not doing well, they don't come out and say, yo, we're not doing well. They hide it. And they start making these backup plans and these contingency plans behind the scenes. And then we get blindsided. And as consumers in a subscription service, we shouldn't be blindsided. Again, you're making monthly investments in the games. You're getting all into these games and rocking out with them and shit. And then all of a sudden, Microsoft comes about and says, okay, the subscription service is ending at the end of the month. That's not fair to consumers. So we gotta ask questions. We need all this information in front of us. I need to know, you need to know, with all the investment that they made in advertisement, with the fact that they put this big high production game in Game Pass day and date. We're not going to get sustainability numbers until December, January, but we need to know how many people, based off all this information, now the Game Pass is a household name. So on every delicious snack from here to Mount Minnetonka, you know what I'm saying? How effective was this campaign? Because if this campaign was abysmal, then we know some radical changes are coming, and it's better as consumers that we know up front. I'm not concerned about argument chips. I'm not concerned about console war shit. I need to know as a consumer. So I urge all of you guys and gals, all of you gamers, take off the fanboy hat, just put it down. We need to know how successful this is. And hashtag Ask Matt. Go to Matt Piscatella, go to NPD and say, hey, could you be so kind to oblige us? Which was the number 2 selling console? If it was Xbox and you're invested in the Xbox ecosystem and you're invested in Game Pass, then you know that things are not in alpha red alert phase. But I can tell you this much. If they didn't sell more consoles than PlayStation 4 having an abysmal month, which is a sign that all this marketing ain't working for Xbox, then they're in DEFCON 5. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And y'all can doubt me all y'all want, but y'all been doubting me for the past 2 years and keep getting slapped with the Unity ring. I'm trying to tell you from the Fortune 500 side. If they didn't sell more consoles to PlayStation 4 in their abysmal September, not according to MM2K, but according to Matt Piscatella, they are in DEFCON 5 stage. Because I can tell you right now, they're saying we spent all this money and we don't look like we're making any saturation. They've been mum. They're not releasing so many bombs. They're not releasing nothing about Gears 5 or about Game Pass. And they know as well it's because they're not going to have hardcore numbers until December, January, when they see how many people have been sustained and have subscribed to the service even after the free trial. But they're looking at all types of numbers. You're looking at the numbers that you see on the screen right now. And I can guarantee you, they are concerned about those NPD numbers. NPD numbers represent the largest region for Xbox. And again, don't just look at it from a subs. The subs is the most important litmus. Let me say it like this rather. Subs is a more important litmus than a la carte sales, but it's not more important than money. And if they're purging all this money, they need to know that it's going to be made up in the back end with subs. Or it's going to be made up in the back end with people wanting to invest in the ecosystem. And people's main entry into Xbox, at least right now, one of the biggest litmuses to show if people are willing to invest in it long term would be console sales. Console sales are the S at least. And if they're not willing to buy more consoles than PlayStation 4 in its abysmal month, then Houston, we got a problem. I don't know how else to parse it, man. So again, I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I needed to stick with my fellow gamers. Go ask Matt Piscatella. Be nice about it. Hey y'all. Hey NPD. Wanted to know. Can y'all let us know what the number 2 hardware seller was for September? And that's pretty much it from your boy. Pretty much it. Let me go to my chat. See what my chat got to say. Shay Capo says at MM2K, you really think Microsoft would sell more consoles in a month where 2K20 and Borderlands 3 came out, especially with a cheaper price console? I think you're mixing two things. Do I think that they would sell, or do you mean do I think Microsoft would sell more gear or more games in a month? Is that what you mean, Capo? Microsoft has their consoles are around the same price as PlayStation 4s, right? Didn't the X go through a permanent price drop, right? Or am I wrong? Did it go through a permanent $100 price drop or a $50 price drop? PS4 is a cheaper price console? Are you sure about that? A base PlayStation 4 full retail was $299, right? It's not, you can get them for $200. You can get them, you know what I'm saying? But no, the full retail, like if you go to the store and you buy one, it's $299. The same with the Xbox One. Like go to the websites. Let's do that right now. Let's put that point right now. Go to the official PlayStation site. Hardware. PlayStation 4. Okay, $299. It's right there. It's $299. Got Xbox. Is it gonna? Okay, they got and the Xbox actually has the S model, which is $249. Capo, what are you talking about? No, Capo, full retail. You cannot go with a particular wholesalers. No, not $229. It's look, Capo. Come on, don't do this, bruh. You see that? $299. It's $299. Hold on, let me go to my thing. Okay. Oh, you can't see. Hold on. No, it's $299. You see that graphic right there? It's $299. Perfect. Xbox has a console that's $249, the all digital version. That's $249, bruh. You see that? So Xbox actually has a cheaper console. Now, with that being said, yeah, I can open up a store tomorrow and sell an Xbox One X for $35 if I want to. We can't go back because you can sit there and say, oh, you can get a PlayStation for $229. There might be a store selling an Xbox One S for $180. You don't know. We got to go by the full retail. The full retail, you can get an Xbox One for $250. The full retail is $299. And sitting there going to mom and pop shop on the corner and say, no, it's the cheaper console because it's at mom and pop shop. No, because there could be Jane and Doe's pop shop, you know what I'm saying, that has an Xbox One cheaper. Can't go by that. Got to go by full retail. So, with that being said, once again, they're on an even playing field as far as pricing is concerned. So yeah, and as far as 2K20, no, I didn't expect, like I said earlier, Shake Capo, I didn't expect Gears to be number one. I didn't even expect it to be I'm lying. I did expect it to be number one, maybe number two on its own console. We got to be fair here. We got to be fair. This is Gears 5. This ain't State of Decay. This is Gears 5. Every single PlayStation game, when it releases, it's number one on the console. It is number one on that console, just about every single one. I'm not talking about in total sales everywhere. I'm talking about within its own brass, within its own consumer base. All of their games, when they release, they're number one NPD for that month, at least on that console. Now I get it. There was Game Pass. That's fine. That's fine. It placed number 3. Perfect. All right, I kind of get that. But when you look at the fact that Gears was not only available on console, but PC, and it still got outsold by Ghost Recon that was only out a day for only select purchasers, that's not horrible because of Game Pass. It's not horrible because you got to factor in Game Pass, but they fell short. They fell a little short. You got to be honest about that, Capo. They fell a little short. Twisted Sin said that Ninja deal ain't helping them with a waste of money. Actually, that's not true. We got to keep it fair and balanced here. We the new Fox News. We keep it. Let me stop. We got to keep it fair and balanced. That's not actually true. I did it. My last video, as a matter of fact. Check it out, Twisted. Ninja, even though Ninja's the number one streamer, he's declining in popularity. Everybody knows that. So Ninja wasn't a kill shot. He wasn't going to come on Mixer and then everybody was going to come in Mixer. Again, we got to look at stuff from 5,000 feet. Visualize it like a pyramid. Microsoft wants viewers, but in order for you to get viewers, you got to have what? You got to have content. Ninja is only one streamer, and he's losing popularity, but he can create a big buzz, and he created the buzz that let a lot of people even know what the hell Mixer is, and he created enough buzz to where Twitch had to punch down, which they tell you not to do, and they said F Mixer at TwitchCon. That was the worst thing they could have done, because people probably who didn't realize what Ninja did, that lived under a rock, said, what is Mixer? And they got exposure to it tonight. And they probably would have said, oh shit, look at Mixer's beautiful output. Their games look better on there. Oh, wow. Now, with that being said, the viewership isn't there yet, but the content is coming. Why do I say that? Since Ninja has been on Mixer, the number of streamers on Mixer has doubled. It went from 1.9 million or something like that, or 1.19 million to 3.6 million. That's phenomenal. Now, here's the thing. That's a phenomenal start. But, so Ninja's done his job. He created the buzz. Now it's indicative of Microsoft to do what the hell they're supposed to do and start making the service more lucrative so big names come over and people want to watch the shit. And I'm going to be honest with you. Now I'm coming down the middle here. I'm letting you know, Twisted Sin, that that's not entirely true, but I got to admit that this uniform code and making motherfuckers re-sign up for mix, like they, every time I got to re-sign up, I got to reapply for a stream key like every other month. That's just ridiculous. You'll never penetrate Twitch's viewership base by doing shit like that, because the big name content will never come over. You got to make your service more lucrative than Twitch. I understand you want to put up guardrails and you want to see some of the crazy shit that you've seen on Twitch, on Mixer, like the grocery store incident. You know, you don't want to see that. I get that, but you can't get too heavy-handed with it. So I think that Mixer getting Ninja provided the jolt that it needed, but now he's done his job. It's indicative of Microsoft to carry the torch and not drop it. They're getting more content on there. Now they got to make it more lucrative for the big name content to come so they can retain viewership. Right? But good point to bring up, even though there's that out there that proves otherwise. Victor Allison said, they are not in DEFCON 5. The business is not built that way. Stop. Okay, so I don't know which way you think the business is built. The business is built to make money. Pretty much, that's it. I don't know what inside track you have, Vic. If you learn that Microsoft is turned into a no earnings nonprofit, which there's a distinction between a no earnings nonprofit and a nonprofit. A lot of you might not be aware that just because you're not a nonprofit don't mean that you don't make profit. It means that you don't compete in order to make profit. But that's another here nor there. I'm trying to flex my business muscle here to try to get through to my brother Victor. Microsoft is in the business to make money. So if you're going to bleed money to support a new business model, you have to show that you're building a substantial base. That substantial base is to say, even though we're in the red, once we flip a certain switch and we go all in on this in entirety, we're going to make that money back and some. Now, how does Microsoft know that they're going to do that? When they can retain subs and or get more people in their ecosystem. We don't know if they're going to retain subs until December, January, when those free trials are dead and people have to pay to retain in the service. But I can tell you right now that they're looking at people just getting into the ecosystem in another way. And with all this advertisement, it being all over ESPN, this shit ain't cheap, Vic. If with all that, they couldn't sell more hardware than PlayStation 4 did in the abysmal September that Matt Piscatella laid out to us, they are in DEFCON 5 mode. Their finger is above the trigger, is above the button. You can convince yourself otherwise, but the reality of it is they're in this to make money. So again, unless they've turned into a non-revenue based nonprofit, they're looking at that and they're like, shit, we can't outperform PlayStation. With all this money, we should be at PlayStation 4 having a horrible month. If we can't outperform them and people wanting to get into our ecosystem, we got a problem. And when I say DEFCON 5, I don't mean they're going to end Microsoft or end Xbox. I mean, they might blow up this strategy altogether. But they got their finger over the button and they're closely eyeing how many people they've retained after these trial period subscriptions are over. That'll let you know if they press that button or not. So we're not going to know that until December, January, but I'm letting you know if it depends. If they sold more than PlayStation 4, then they're still in a comfortable area. They just underperformed in one particular litmus. But if they underperformed in one particular litmus and PlayStation 4 outsold them in an abysmal month, and they're bleeding all this money doing advertisements on ESPN and Wu-Tang and all this other shit and billboards all everywhere, their finger is above the button. Period. Uh-oh, I lost my mouse. Oh shit. Come on. All right, here we go. All right. And let me see here. No Russian. He says Dreamcast all over again. Oh, well, nah, I don't necessarily think. Let's play worst case scenario here. Let's say if Microsoft if Xbox not only didn't sell more consoles than PlayStation 4, but they realized that the vast majority of the people the 3 million players or how many people on it, they only were in it for the free trial, and the overwhelming majority of them left, and that consumer base evaporated. It was short-lived. I think they would press the button to blow up the strategy. I don't think that they would get rid of the service. They're too invested in it to just say, okay, 4 months after rolling this out, we're done. The end-all be-all would be Halo Infinite. The Halo Infinite has the power to close down Xbox. If Halo Infinite doesn't do well, and all this other shit happens too, if Halo 5 doesn't do well, if Gears 5 didn't retain consumers and help build the subscription service, and they're still just bleeding money, then yeah, Xbox is in trouble. When I say DEFCON 5, I'm talking about the strategy. But believe you me, I don't care what y'all did. I don't know what crack y'all smoking to believe otherwise. I'm afraid to look at my comments because I fear somebody done said, even if Halo Infinite doesn't do well, Xbox is here to stay. No. If Halo Infinite doesn't do well, then it's over. It's over. Shay Capo said, I think Satya is going to give it a lot more rope than that. If they press the button, that means that Xbox Division is finished, in my opinion. No, I think what they would do is they would change the strategy, and they would probably forego day and date. They would forego day and date. And they would have to back off on the all-in strategy for Game Pass because it's not working for them. Again, if they look at this strategy and they're like, damn, with Gears 5 getting an 85, places like IGN, the largest game site in the world, giving it a 9. Like, a lot of people don't watch Metacritic. A lot of casuals don't. They go to GameSpot or IGN. IGN gave it a 9. That's going to reach more gamers, casual gamers, than GameSpot. So it's seen in a good light. They got the advertisements everywhere where they showing all the 9s that the game got. It's advertised on ESPN. If with all of that, they can't either retain services or they can't get higher saturation, then they're going to DEFCON 5 that strategy. And I would see them DEFCON 5ing it in the realm of the day and date model. They would say, our content just ain't strong enough, or we're just not strong enough as an entity to do day and date and make it lucrative. We'll revisit day and date next generation. Big D206 was good. So with that said, that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Y'all all had some good points. Perfect. We got Cole. Okay, I'm gonna read everybody. Wounded Penguin, what's up? Heath Stevens, Victor Allison, Andre Montalvo, what's up? Welcome to the family. Twisted Sin, Paul G. No Russian. Shake Capo. Cold Blood Sensei, did I get you, bro? Yeah. Heath Stevens. Devil Shooter. He said, I went to GameStop yesterday and they were giving $300 in cash credit for a PlayStation 4 Pro towards an Xbox One X, and it's only $40. Laugh out loud. Heath Stevens, where's Gears on the Xbox, man? Hey, look, man, I'm gonna keep it jiggy with you, man. I'm not a Gears fanatic. I played it. It's much. I will say this. I can be fair, even though I'm not a Gears fanatic. I played it. It's the best Gears since 1, in my opinion. I like 2. But besides the whole thing with Dom, and I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played, I really didn't care about 2. I haven't cared about Gears really since 1. It's the best Gears since 1 as far as I'm concerned. So it's a very good game. But with that being said, I'm not real big on Gears. I'm playing other shit. Like I got to get back into Borderlands 3 and definitely do my Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And there's some other shit I'm going to play too. I got Greedfall and some other games. You know what I'm saying? But we got Pixel Bit G, Fatal Charade, and let me see, Mr. Righteous Fish with his ignorant ass. So, big ups to everybody coming through. Again, this wasn't quick, man. I know. Walter, big up to Walter. Welcome. No, Walter, you've been here before, bro. Jimmy Acquit, what's going on? He said, who cares about the sales? If it fails, let the shit fail. One White Kong, he said, no, I'm playing. One White Kong in here starting his shit. Night Star Games was that. Big ups to Night Star. Tip Diamond was good, bro. R&B the third. And let me see, how long did I go, y'all? How long did I go this time? Woo! Went over an hour. Woo! All right, with that said, I appreciate all of y'all for coming through. That was the non-Quick Dose Live. You know, a lot to think about, man. But again, before I just asked you guys, go to Matt Piscatella. Be kind to the fella. He blocked me for some reason. I don't even remember ever trying to conversate with the guy. For some reason, I must irritate him or something. But he blocked me. But I'm gonna reach out to him through my MM2K gaming account and just say, hey, would you be so kind to oblige us in who was number 2 in hardware? You know, ask Matt. You know, because this is information we should know as consumers. You know what I mean? Again, I'm beyond the whole console war thing. I'm beyond it. I ain't trying to argue with nobody about what I like and what I don't like. I just need to know that if I'm going to invest in this service, right, if that's still on the plate for me to see if I'm going to invest in this service for the long haul, I need to know how successful it's doing. Because if I know how successful it's doing, or if it's making inroads or reaching some milestones, then I say, okay, then it has a bright future. But if it can't penetrate, then I'm gonna hesitate. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. But with that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I appreciate all of y'all. You know, I'm going to continue to work on some stuff, get some things rolling. We're going to be rocking and rolling next week, man. Check out the Best Damn Podcast. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Check out my page. Subscribe. Hit that like button. Share this out, man. If you like the God degree I'm dropping here. With that said, follow me on HNDC.Live or Mighty Most 2000 on Twitch as well. Peace.